We're getting ready to start. Outstanding. My name is Coach Armand. I'm talking to you live and direct out of San Diego, California. Today is October the 22nd. It's Wednesday, and we're doing our Operation Popcorn Hangout. Now, some of you might just be listening to this for the first time. You might not know why you got interviewed to this or got sent to this. Maybe you're even getting an email a day after we did this, and you're taking a look at what it is because somebody went ahead and said, take a look at this. First off, well, I want to congratulate you for being here right now, being in the present, and for listening to what it is we have to say. And we're going to give you some golden nuggets that's going to help you specifically build anything you're looking to build from the skeleton we lay out. But for our team, because this is a mastermind for our team, we're going to be very specific on what we do to build and grow our personal teams. Now, with that being said, I'm going to introduce a couple of panelists here, and I just want to kind of touch bases on what Operation Popcorn is. Operation Popcorn is basically something that we do because think about going to the movie theater and you're going to see a good show. What you simply do is most times is that you bring out some, popcorn, some butter, and you enjoy a good show. So right now I want you to go out, for me, excuse me. I'm going to get a good energy drink. But if you can head and get some coffee, get whatever your favorite beverage is, sit back, per se, grab some popcorn, take some notes. We're going to show you some things that can help you or assist you to build your business. And what we're here to do is assist you in our team, Freedom Uprising. What we're here to assist you to do is to go ahead and get to our first leadership position, which is called D3 in the first 72 hours. So we're going to give you some nuggets on how we've accomplished that, on what we've seen from us, and how we're masterminding and making some positive things happen. So about talking about masterminding, live events, local events, what I like to do is bring out a lady, a queen, Queen Rhonda, and have her come out because she just, if you were on last Wednesday's Hangout, she was telling you about an event that was happening in her area. Now she's already gone through, and I would love her to come out and share anything that she saw, any nuggets that can train us, give us some information to help us to build our business quicker, bigger, and easier. Rhonda is somebody that I have a lot of admiration for. She was sharing with us last week some of the life lessons that she's learning and basically moving forward from, and she came out and did an awesome training. So with that being said, Rhonda, are you live and direct with us right now?
I am. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Absolutely. I'm going to go now, so go ahead.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Coach. I am honored to be here, and thank you for having me. I am coming off of this meeting in Indiana, just jacked up. And by the way, my name is Rhonda Farrell, and I'm from Indiana, and the Naked Hippies were just here along with Nicole Mitchell, Wayne and Linda Kopic, Sakshi, Zion, Zachary. There's just a whole host of true leaders at this meeting, and soaking up that energy was just, because I'm still jacked up. I don't need coffee, I don't need energy drinks, I'm just on it. You know, the biggest thing I took away from this was just meeting people face to face and really connecting and sharing. Sharing what's working for us, what's not working, and tips on how we can do things better. In that light, Nicole Mitchell, she is just an offline queen. She is just promoting like crazy offline, and after talking with her and listening to her presentation, I understand it fully. She just simplified this down to pure sugar syrup. Nicole is just a professional from the word go. She uses a lot of humor in her presentation, and she really gets her point across. Big thing was keep it simple. You're going to be sharing things anyway, right? So you might as well get paid for it. But she does it so much better. It's like you're going to be doing it anyway. She shared about all the products that we have. It was a great training as far as that, but what I was hearing was not necessarily what she was saying, but how she was saying it. Again, it was a matter of keeping it really simple, um, and using lots of humor, really interacting with the audience. For example, she's talking about TaxBot and why you need to have a home business. You know, everyone needs to have these type of deductions that is only offered by home businesses for taxes, for home offices, for gas, for driving, for you name it. There's over 450 deductions, which I did not know. What really cracked me up was when she was saying, now, you know, this is an application on both your phone, you can do it on your phone or your PC. And let's make sure that you can operate this. Put your forefinger out, push it forward. All right, you got it. You can do this. Little things like that that you're learning how to present that just made a world of difference. Completely simple, lots of fun.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me ask you, Rhonda, what was your biggest takeaway from that event? Being that you were at a live event, have you been to live events before? And then what was your biggest takeaway from that one?
I have. Biggest takeaway from this one was really keeping it simple and using humor. Meeting up with people face to face is so much different from being on the computer. Being able to touch their energy, feel their energy, to connect with that, really get to know people. Now, I learned lots of ways to do that online and lots of ways to do that offline. And it's, you know, let's face it, our business is all about relationships. And so we need to know how to connect with people. We can all fairly well do that in person. It's another way, the skill set, to do it online.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I'm pretty sure we'll hear from you here in a minute. But I'm going to get ready to bring out Sue, and then we'll have one of our master trainers, the great Christina, come out and give us some gold nuggets for the field. But I know how you were saying about Nicole with two E's. I always call her Sis, even though I've never met her, because I was on a call this past Sunday. And the call this past Sunday, because we're personally doing a local event, the first one here in San Diego this Friday, with my man Steven and a couple other people, Rich, a couple other good people. But I was looking for a way of how to present in front of everybody. And we have the skeleton already out there. And while I was looking for some different things, what happened is I heard Nicole actually on notes that I took from that call. But basically, she was kind of telling about when she introduces or she tries to introduce people to it, she just basically tells them, do I have enough credibility with you to basically get about 15 to 20 minutes of your time? And if that sounds familiar to you, the reason why is because in the perfect invite, that's the same thing we say, hey, when can I get 15 to 20 minutes of your time? You know, Joe Smo, I'm going to run with this, with or without you. I just want to get 15 to 20 minutes of your time and tell you what I'm doing. You know, we're getting ready to blow this up and present it in front of thousands of people. I just don't want you coming back to me 6 months later. And that's something that we did today and had a mastermind before this mastermind locally with a couple of very who will be attracting some other sharp people. So Nicole is thebomb.com, like you said, and right now, what I like to do is to present somebody who's a friend, a mentor, somebody who not only talks the talk, because a lot of people can talk the talk, she walks the walk. She's been traveling, she's been on the road, meeting up with different team members, and I like to introduce you to somebody who, her name is Queen D, but somebody who definitely has a heart, has the integrity, team, and is definitely somebody that can show you how to continue moving forward faster in your business. So with that being said, Queen D, are you here with us?
I am here, Coach. Can you hear me all right?
Live and clear. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself.
awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that introduction, and thank you, Rhonda, for sharing what you shared, because that's massive, massive value. Um, my name's Steve Gabinet. I'm out of, well, actually, I'm in Vancouver now. I was just recently in Washington with the great Sue Haas, and we met up with a couple other teammates from that area, and it was phenomenal. Like Rhonda was saying, there, you know, the being live with your teammates, whether it's whether they're having a big team meeting and inviting, anybody who may want to come and learn more about what we're doing, being live with people is very, very special. We get to know and love each other a lot online. Our teammates, whether they're directly sponsored by us, or whether they're just part of the bigger team, the Freedom Uprising team. But being live with people is amazing. I've come to love Sue. I've come to love, as well as my other teammates that I've met. And Karen Hill was amazing. Jennifer Lewis was amazing. And what we do online with our teammates is, as far as our leadership coaching calls that helps them to refocus, every month, beginning of month, end of month, is amazingly powerful when you're live with people. The ones that respond to our invites to go through this coaching with us and respond to our invites to meet us when we're plan on being live somewhere are generally the people that they not only love that, that personal touch and being live with you. They generally come to us because they're looking for a little bit of clarity. And in almost every case, when we do these leadership coachings, whether they're online, on the phone, or live in person, I find anyways, this is my personal perception, is that they come to us, like I said, confused and overwhelmed, and we all know that when people are confused and overwhelmed, they don't do anything. They don't know what to do, so they do nothing. And when we share with them what we're doing specifically in this group, in our D3 group with our team here, it's you can see the sense of relief that comes over them, and it's very rewarding to me. It's very empowering for them, and in some cases, these people are at a point where they've begun to doubt themselves. They've begun to think, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I can't do this, and simply reaching out and being there for them, whether it's online or offline, can be the difference between them giving up entirely on their dreams, quitting what they'd already started, and them becoming excited again and becoming re-engaged, and understanding that we have to do this on a regular basis. It's not something you do once. You need to revisit it once a month, maybe twice a month. Where am I going? What's working? What's not working? Like the great Rhonda just said, we talk about this in a live format, and it's so much more powerful than doing Facebook chat online or even getting on the phone. So I'm empowered. I'm inspired by being with these fabulous women live, because I know that we're making a difference, and I know that. For people that came to us in the first place, joined us in the first place, were excited about what they saw, were excited about changing their lives, excited about life in general. I know that we're making a difference for them, and we're reigniting them. So that's empowering to me. It's empowering to the people that we meet with, and I look forward to doing this more and more. The live events are super powerful, and I know just through this group of people right here, we have the opportunity to learn a lot of really cool, simple tips, and just keep everything as simple as possible. And I want to add also that we're here and available to the entire team. We're also here and available to anybody who's just having a look at this and maybe interested in hanging out with us and finding out what the heck it is we do. And how we're building our freedom online. So just get back to the person who invited you to this presentation, whether you're watching it live right now or whether you're watching the recording, because what we got is super simple. And in my opinion, after being in this industry for as many years as I have, simple is what duplicates. But we need to always reach out, continually reach out and support our team, support our teammates, whether they're on our direct team or not, and just encourage them to let the other stuff go, stick to the basics till they master that, and then we move forward from there. So yeah, I'm excited about that too. So back to you, Coach.
Awesome, awesome, Queen D. I'm taking so many notes from Rhonda, from your stuff, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this, just giving me some more to give you. And then what I'll do is, so you can go ahead and introduce the great Sue, and from there, Sue can go ahead and give it back to me. But I was looking at, what's so magical, because we're talking about masterminding, and we're talking about actually connecting with people at a heart level. And that's the old school belly to belly. And with what's happening with what we can do online, it was just amazing. Just earlier, I was sitting down with Steven, the great Steven, and this is how amazing it is. Steven was like, yeah, where's Queen D at? He was thinking like you were in Los Angeles or somewhere local, because he sees you all the time on the Hangouts. He hears you on the calls. So what we can do, even though we're not belly to belly on these live Hangouts or recording that you're listening to or looking at right now, yeah, a little bit closer. But there's something that's so different about being belly to belly. That's why when there are big events in your area, regionals, there, because there you get to actually meet the people that you're seeing on the Hangouts, people that you take notes from. You get to really get that one-on-one interaction with them, and so that's what everybody's really experiencing now. Or we're all coming up close and being able to look at this. And Queen D was talking about supporting. We have the support infrastructure here. It's very, very simple how we build this, how we duplicate it, how we make it happen. And so what we do is we simply, if you ask us bottom line, Queen D, Coach Armand, Rhonda, Sue, the great Christina, Striking Viking, what is it that you all do? We simply sell people back on themselves. We sell them back on who they are. We sell them back on the potential, on the greatness in them. Because when people are out at their jobs, when they're out at the supermarket, are listening to the news, basically they're being sold on who they can't be. They're sold on somebody who they really aren't, a small person. What we do is we preach and speak great into you because we believe in you. We know that there's a spark inside of you, and if we can just encourage you, if we can show you the way, we can't do it for you, but we can show you the path to take. And at that point, it's up to you to say, if I want to go left and stay where I'm at right now, and if you do, that's okay. Or if you want to go ahead and turn a right and continue moving forward and elevating yourself, that's why we simply give you nuggets. The wolf mentality. That's why we give you nuggets, the GoPro, because that helps to build who you are. And the best way you can build who you are is by getting into good books, associating yourself with other individuals. It might be outside of your comfort zone, but that's where your success lies. So thank you so much, Queen D, for the notes, Ron, that you've given us. Queen D, and then if you can introduce Sue, and I'm just so looking forward to taking some more notes. Back to you, Queen D.
Thanks, Coach. Nothing gives me more pleasure than to introduce the great Sue Haas. We met for the first time in Salt Lake City, and she touched my heart there. And excuse me, I'm getting a little choked up. And she touched my heart again when I was in Washington just recently. So, yeah, this lady's got a heart of gold. She's she knows what she wants. She's got huge dreams and desires and a beautiful family. So take it away, Sue, and share with us maybe what you experienced when we got together, what you're looking forward to moving forward with us, and yeah.
Am I unmuted now? You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Good. Everybody's quiet. Dee, thank you so much. That is such a wonderful invitation, or whatever you want to say about it. Armand, Coach, the first thing I need to say is I have 4 boys, and 3 of them were delivered with the same anesthesiologist. And I bow to you. You guys are the most amazing people in the whole world. You have our lives in your hands when we're under. And you take care of us, you care, and my hat's off to you. Thank you so much for doing what you do. And Dee, this weekend was amazing. Being together, face to face, belly to belly, is the most powerful thing you can do. As we have this internet connection, it's close, but it's nothing until you have the energy, the force fields around you all together working, and you get to hug, and that energy just kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and our consciousness gets bigger. It's difficult to humanize the internet like this, but when we meet every so often, we have to get filled up. We get empty. It's whether we have partners that we're living with or just partners that we're working with, everybody gets empty after about a month, like Dee said, about a month. And you really need to fill up. You need to get close to somebody that is doing what you do and is supporting you and believes in you. The conversations that you have are priceless. You think about things that you wouldn't think about if you were by yourself. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm still pretty speechless from the weekend, and I just got off the train, so bear with me. I guess it's back to you, Coach. I don't know what else. You got anybody have any questions?
I do, Sue.
I'm looking at your.
Go ahead. Okay. I do, Sue. Since we were together and we met up, you know, we invited people to come and meet us because we were going to be together. Now, we met with 2 ladies, one day and one the next day, as we coordinated our times and found each other. What would you say was your biggest takeaway out of those meetings, as far as you know, stepping more into a leadership role with teammates? And like I said, it's regardless of whether they're your teammates or somebody else's teammates, we're all on the same page, we're all doing the same thing. I mean, I understand the power of being live, but as far as business goes and the simplicity of what we're doing, what was your biggest takeaway out of what we experienced with those 2 beautiful souls that we met up with?
I think it was the biggest takeaway was probably the fact that we overcomplicate things, and the simplicity of the simplicity of what this business is, and to be able to just to ask the questions. Have you bought anything? Have you looked in your back office? What are you doing? A lot of people don't know what to do to get started, and it's just having that connection where you're together. We're all sitting there with our computers, and so you can see, and it's just like a show and tell type of thing. But the biggest takeaway was the hearts of those women. Oh, they're amazing, and they're beautiful, and they're smart, and they have. I believe that they have everything that it takes to be successful, and now that they've been filled up with the things that they needed, because all they had to do was ask, and you receive.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you, Sue. It's powerful stuff. Absolutely.
It is.
Back to you, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you were saying about and one key thing that you just said is that you believe in them. And here we go with uplifting. You see the greatness in them. And Sue, all I can tell you is your energy is off the chain. You don't even have to speak. All you'd have to do is sit there and smile, and we get so much just from watching you smile. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being on the Hangout tonight. And I'm pretty sure we'll have some words from you as we start to wrap this out. But I'm going to segue into our striking Viking, master trainer extraordinaire, somebody who's been in the trenches. She's getting dirt thrown on her. She's brushed it off. She's come back out to fight. She's got knocked down like in Rocky Balboa and says, "Is that all you have, life? Is that all you have? I've got more for you." So I want to introduce you to the great Christina Bequette. She's a leader on the team, making things happen, and in the midst of building a huge organization. So Christina, can you hear me? And are you on?
I'm here. I can hear you. I'm guessing you can hear me.
And I can hear you. I'm here.
Okay.
I can.
And I am Christina Bequette. I live in rural, historic Franktown, Colorado. I've been in network marketing for a while, a long while, network marketing, online marketing for about 10 years. And it's only been since I've been with Wake Up Now, and in particular our group that we have here, that I'm finally seeing success and being able to really grasp what really to do to be successful. And one of the big things is especially about this group, is we keep things simple, and we do the basics. We keep it at the basics. And things can be so complicated, and especially just getting in front of people. There are many, many different ways to do it, and a lot of them are, to me, a little complicated. And so not too long ago, I decided I just really want to go back to the basics and get in front of people one-on-one instead of doing so much online. As much as I love doing Facebook, and I still do it, I have found that it's just a heck of a lot easier for me to talk to people. And when you talk to people, you're talking, it comes out of your heart. And when you get in physical range of somebody else, it's a lot easier for them to read and feel what your heart is saying. And you can do it over the airways, you can do it that way too, but it just works a lot better when you are face-to-face. And this is really interesting for me to be doing this, because a couple of years ago I started doing online marketing just online, and I was doing it through blogging, I was doing it through lots of other ways, and that's what I wanted to do. I had gotten so tired of having meetings and going to meetings and trying to track down people, because it wasn't successful for me then, and I don't exactly know what the difference is, but it wasn't successful for me then. So I turned it off. I totally tuned that stuff out, went online, and just like I said, I think it was about a month or two ago, I started thinking about just talking to people again. And actually, that's been my success. That's how I have brought people into the business, is strictly from speaking with them. And most recently, I have reconnected with the community. I'm here in Franktown, and I used to live here, so I know a lot of people here, and I want to bring this idea to them, the idea of what we do, Wake Up Now. And so therefore, of course, I am going to be talking to them, but I know that's just a limited amount of people. for me to reach. And a lot of new people will go through their list of family and friends, and then you're looking for somebody else to talk to. And what I have found, and this is what I used to do too, and in this community, I started joining networking groups. And if you're familiar with the leads groups and things that happen on Facebook, you can go on there and you can post and you can get to know people through leads groups. It's kind of the same thing, only, and if I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that already know what it is, but for those that don't, networking groups are simply groups of people that meet, and they meet specifically to talk about what they do as a business. And there's a few different ways that this happens. A couple of them that I've run into recently are, well, let me backtrack just a second because I'm not sure that I finished up the thought of, I used to hate doing this. This is something I was not comfortable doing, way out of my comfort range, but I knew I needed to get out and advertise a business that I was in at the time. But I would arrive late because I really didn't want to go there, and I wouldn't be prepared, and I just always had a negative feeling about the whole thing. So enter me back into the same community, some of the same groups, and for some reason now I'm just seeing it with a whole different set of eyeballs, and I just see the value of getting myself in front of a larger group of people. And it is still it's still in person. So I have come across the kind of group where you actually go to a meeting place. You're in a room at a table, and you stand up or whatever, and you actually you've got 30 seconds to do your elevator speech. And so people know what you do, then it goes to the next person, everybody gets to know that. And then they do the socializing, so you've already seen what everybody does, and you can go talk to the person that you want to know more about. And that's very valuable in that way to do it. There's also, there's several different ways I think that they happen, but the other side of the coin is you go to a group where it's more of a social occasion, and you just meet whoever you're going to meet in that group. And that's what I did last night. The group was the Douglas County Divas, and they tend to bring in a lot of women in business, and some men actually do come also. And I've been to these groups before, and it can be like a free-for-all, because everybody comes, and in this case it was like 86 women came between 6 and 8 in the evening, and we're all just talking yak yak yak, and basically it's like bringing your business card and throwing it or whatever, and just trying to get leads. And so I went, and it was noisy, and I met a lot of really cool gals, and I had connections though with a few, and it was that heart connection to where we were actually speaking to each other, interested in what each other had to do and to say, and we weren't even necessarily going to use the services, but we still had a connection. So regardless of what happens with the lead, at least we were building a friendship, which is what it's all about, and having a warm communication. So what happened with me last night is, being in this kind of a group, it was very difficult to hear. I came out feeling like I'd been yelling all night, which I basically had, because you couldn't, you had to speak up. And so I left the building, and I was thinking, I was second guessing my decision to get into that kind of a group. However, as I was driving down the road going home, I saw it in a different light, and it actually, I think, is an excellent way to develop a relationship, especially with what we have, because you don't necessarily have the opportunity to to use the perfect invite, which is what we use here. And if you don't know what the perfect invite is, you can go to the D3 mastermind group and find it in the files, and that will tell you the perfect way to invite and to get through the whole presentation. But there's a different way that I found that you can use this kind of a situation. You get in there, people get to know you, you get to know them a little bit, but then you get home, you've got the leads, you've got their information, you have their cards, and then the next day you follow up and just say something about, and I would do it by email, or you could actually call and just refresh their memory as to who you are, because most people have spoken to so many, they can't remember who you are. And then you can say, especially in my situation, because I used the icebreaker of that Brandon Boyd brought up, and it is whenever somebody would ask me, well, what is it that you do? And I always asked the other person what they do first, led them into it, and then I just innocently say, well, I help people to completely eliminate all the bills that come into their mailbox. And then I shut up. And that's very difficult for me to do, because in the past I've always wanted to keep yammering on about what it is that I do, but I put the duct tape over my mouth, and that's all I would say. And it was so well received by every single person that I talked to. Everyone. They were like, what? And they would ask questions. They were like, well, what do you do? Pay my bills, and being very sarcastic. But there are many different things that they would ask me. But I would refuse to tell them. Actually, I had a little card thing that I had made up, and I just said, well, it would be difficult for me to explain this right now with everybody talking. Here's my information here, go to this link. Now, that's not exactly how the perfect invite says to do it, but now I can, and I started to get my follow-up done today, but I had other things I had to do. I will finish them tomorrow. But now I can go back and I can say, did you have time yet to see the video? And then I can do all the other invite that they talk about in the perfect invite. And it also opens up more time that you can develop that more warm relationship. So I have changed my whole attitude toward these, because it gives you a little bit more time. It gives you kind of like 2 days to get to know that person instead of just that one moment. And it was very interesting, because a lot of the people that I was meeting just match up so perfectly with what we do. I was talking with a financial advisor, and I was very interested in what she was having to say. And then when I gave a couple of hints about what I was doing specific to what they do. And she was very much wanted to know more. There was a personal assistant. Where does a personal assistant go when they need a personal assistant? And so anyway, I could go on and on. I'm not going to, but I just have found that doing the network group face-to-face is a very useful way for me anyway, and I think there's a lot of other people out there too that would find it very easy to get in front of a large group of people and find your leads and have more warm leads. So I think, yeah, that's basically all I had to cover here. So I will turn it back over to you, Armand. If anybody has a question, ask me. But it was very, very interesting getting back into those groups that I avoided so much before.
Yeah, I had a question for you, Christina. I was going to put you on the spot and ask you, what is your 30 seconds? But basically, you told us what it was, and I remember Queen D posted that in our D3 Operation Popcorn group about it. I help people eliminate the bills that come to their mailbox. And what's so funny about that is I was sharing that with somebody today. Go ahead.
No, I just said that's
Go ahead,
it. That's
Christina.
the whole 30 seconds. I don't need to fill it up.
Yeah, that is so sexy, and that's one of the ways that we're doing to invite people out to the event that we're doing this Friday. So we are following the perfect invite, but you got to understand, you have to be flexible. Too, was able basically to open the door. Now she opened the door. Now she has a skeleton to fall back on with, which is the perfect invite, taking them to the next step. And everything that we're doing is just simply outlining GoPro and just understanding this also at the same token. At the D3 level, we're showing you what to do to get to D3 the quickest. Once you get to D3, guess what? There's other information that will be gleaned to get you to F3. Then there's going to be other information to be gleaned to get you to F4. But we don't want to sprinkle that on you all of a sudden, because then you'll be confused. Is that she's doing things right now that for some reason she was encountering some self-sabotage before. But I'll tell you what it is, Christina. It's basically your belief. You have belief right now, like probably you hadn't had before. And with that belief, it's having you go out and do things that perhaps you might not have done before. So anybody that's watching this, if you don't have the belief, buy into in you so that you can accomplish greater things. And I won't hog this call up. Does anybody have any questions for Christina? Man, I've got notes from you, Christina, too. I can go on for days. But go ahead, I'm going to open it up.
I'd like to just reiterate, what everybody's been talking about here. I mean, we have like you said, we have a basic format of what we do and what we teach inside this group and with our team. However, like you said, Coach, it's flexible, obviously. It can be adapted to whatever situation that you find yourself in. I think a lot of people, they go to those instructions and they think they have to, make it exactly step by step, like A, B, C, this is what we do, and there's no flexibility. But as we gain, a little more confidence in ourselves and in different situations, it's easy to adapt that. And I love what Christina shared. It's something personally for myself that it takes me out of my comfort zone to get into something, like getting into groups and going to meetups and stuff like that. That I've thought about a lot, but never really done. And man, you hit the nail on the nose too, Coach, when you said, that your belief level now is probably way higher, Christina, than it was before. That's why you're much more comfortable where you're at. And I can attest to that because I've been in a lot of different programs, within a lot of different teams, where my belief just wasn't there, not only in myself, but also in the way maybe we were marketing or what we were marketing. So when you get to a place like we're at right now, where you have total belief in who you're with and what you're doing and what you're promoting, it just engenders way more belief in yourself, and it makes it easy to go up to people and say something like, we help you eliminate all the bills from your mailbox. That's so cool. And like you said, it's very, very sexy. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, Christina. That's amazing. Amazing stuff.
And while anybody else is getting ready to prepare, a statistician that I am, I was counting the box, right, because this industry, and this is out of left field, but I remember reading something in the industry because I'm like, you know what, I'm on the horns here with some great women. Where are my men folk at? And I started thinking about, while I was taking notes, I was like, it said that 80% of the industry are women. And so I started counting the box. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I had 10, that'd be 2 guys, 8 women. That would be 80%, be 20% guys, 80% women. So it shows up right now, which is, I don't know, I want to throw that out there. But what I'm going to ask, if anybody had questions for Christina, come out if anybody had anything to add. But right now, I just want to go into some products, and I'm gonna ask you all to tell me what your favorite product is. And for me, these are products, natural, healthy energy drinks. I'm loving them. Something that's available with Wake Up Now, but also too thinking about TaxBot. I was sitting here, and that's the products that we have, and I had this receipt. If you see it, it's crumpled up. That's usually what happens to receipts. In the past, I throw them into a shoe item at the end of the year. But now I've already taken this receipt. I took the mileage that it took me to drive to a Hangout or a mastermind that I went to earlier. I put it on my TaxBot. All that's already recorded, why I went there, who I was there with, what type of business we did, and not only that, this is how sweet this is. We had a laptop there. Stephen had a laptop, and we were going to play a presentation. For some reason, it didn't work. Because we're mobile, I simply took the presentation. I had headphones, always be prepared. I gave it to him, and he watched the presentation while about what we're going to do Friday. He watched the presentation on my phone, got up to speed. Then he's seen us talk about TaxBot, how it's used, the energy drink, and that's becoming living in one life, becoming a product of the product. So, and one of the things that we shared was with One Finance, for Stephen and myself, that's something that we key in on. And just because we were talking about that, not trying to sell a convenient product, that gentleman said to himself too, yeah, that's what I had some information from. And while we've been on this Hangout, he sent me over a text, and he'll probably be watching this, saying, hey, he's somebody that definitely could be a player with what we have here. Was giving us some good feedback on our presentation, some things that can help with Friday. So, anybody else have anything for Christina, or what's your favorite product?
My favorite product is One Finance and TaxBot by far. That One Finance and TaxBot will hook together. You get them all loaded up, and you get your budget in, and it sends you messages. Excuse me, you're spending too much money. So that's by far my favorite.
Awesome. Awesome.
I have to agree with Sue on that. As most of you know, some of you may not, I'm a Canadian IBO, so our products are what's available to Canadians is not entirely the same as what's available to our American business builders and customers. However, what we do get are the digital products, and they're so powerful. One of my goals, and I'm sure the goals of many people that not only want to get into business, but just their goal is to get out of debt. Most people are drowning in debt. Most people are struggling with finances and living paycheck to paycheck. So when you can, like Sue said, plug all your information into a piece of software that actually tracks your bills, your credit card debt, your student loan, car notes, mortgage, everything, and actually without having to spend any more than you're already spending on paying down your bills each month, tells you which one to pay first because it gives you the best benefit, and you're giving way less money to the banksters in interest payments, and also to be able to because what are the statistics? They say that 84% of small business owners are overpaying in their taxes. So with TaxBot, you're able to keep track of all that. And not only that, not only do you get the app for your phone and TaxBot to use and take pictures of your receipts and eliminate that paperwork and all that kind of stuff, but you also get Sandy Botkin, who teaches you exactly what you can write off as a small business owner, and all his training, and he he's an ex-IRS trainer as far as I know, and I know that his knowledge base is incredible. So yeah, just two products out of so many that are super, super powerful. Yeah, and I love those. Love them myself.
I think I have to come up here and say something about 1MD because there's nothing that's going to put you in debt faster than medical bills. I mean, face it, every time you walk into the doctor's office, it's at least, what, $100, $150. When you can pick up the phone, call a doctor, and they're going to call you back in 10, 20 minutes, and call in a prescription for you after they give you an assessment. You don't have to go to the doctor's office. You don't have to drag the kids out to get sick when they're in an office full of sick people. That is just amazing to me. Whenever you go to the doctor, it's never a planned expense. And I don't know about you, but I generally don't have a couple $100 laying around just to spend on doctors. So 1MD is a real big one.
And I agree. Another vote for TaxBot. And it's for every reason that everybody has said so far, but also because, can you hear me? When you're out to dinner or something, you can take pictures of your receipts, whether it's for business or for personal, because you can track both business and personal. So no matter who you're out with, you can actually do it, show them, and it's its own advertisement. So that's another reason that I like it. It's an easy way to make a conversation about what I do.
Quick and simple.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm going to throw this out there because I was talking today, who will probably be watching some uses for one local about, kind of surveying the area. You just went down there to Jiffy Lube and you paid full price. Well, guess what? If you simply had this app, you could have saved $10 or $15 off. And just showing them things that they're actually doing, because that's what it is. Things that you're already doing, you're going to do them anyway. It's either you're going to do them without us and pay more, or you're going to do it with us and pay less. Because that's what we offer. We offer deals on a lot of different items that you're already doing. So I want to give it up for one local. Identity theft, I just feel better knowing that every month I get something sent to me, identification. Has somebody been, trying to use it? Am I protected? And that product is giving me more peace of mind, because that's something I definitely am concerned about, because I've had my wallet stolen, and so somebody has all my ID, all my information, to be able to keep track of it. And not only keep it happens, and to already have a guaranteed almost insurance policy saying, hey, we're going to give you this if it happens so that you can get it fixed, and we're going to go in and work with you to get it fixed. It's so familiar. And then also, too, another one for One Protect, because if you all remember before, I used to get on these Hangouts, and about 15 to 20 minutes into them, we'd have to go to another Hangout. Then we'd have to go to another Hangout and do 3-part Hangouts. Well, guess what? I looked into my products and services we have here with Wake Up Now, and one of the service and benefits was the One Protect, where it would do a computer scan to see what was going on. So basically, I just called a number. This guy was able to remotely log into my computer, go in, screen it, see what's going on, and he came back about 30 or 45 minutes later and just, yeah, you have key login, viruses and this. I cleaned everything out. You should be good to go now. And ever since that point, I haven't had a challenge with being on a Google Hangout and getting cut off or something happening. So, yeah, it's all about, and as we get ready to wrap this up, is there any other words of encouragement, enlightenment that you all would like to give? So, one last call, or if they had anything that popped up to them, something that they can add increase into them.
I'd like to just summarize what what we discovered through doing these live meetings, and what's encouraging and empowering our our teammates. And just reach out to your teammates. Just reach out to them. Point them to the basic training inside our D3 group. There's two things to look at. Click on files. If you have to, just pretend that you're brand spanking new. Go see the new members' email, welcome email. Check out the perfect invite training. It's so quick and easy. You can get through that within an hour and feel comfortable with it. And encourage your teammates, if you're not comfortable with this yourself, to reach out to one of, upline, one of your leaders, and get on a coaching call. Book an appointment to have a coaching call with one of us. I'm available if it's what you want to do, but you need to reach out to me. You need to book an appointment with me, and you need to call me, and I'll be there for you, and we'll do that coaching call. So take it away, Coach. That's what I got to add.
So my day is ditto. Anybody else?
I just have one thing. We need to make sure that we talk about this to anybody that will hear us, that will receive it, because people are looking for something. Everybody's looking for something. This may not be what someone's looking for, but it's our responsibility to share this. That's all I have.
That's powerful. That's very powerful. Is with this, but what you just said is very powerful, because I believe it's our right to at least share it with people. And no, we're not here to sell or convince anybody, but at least to share the word. So 6 months from now, you don't come up to me or to us and you're like, how come you didn't tell me about this? We're only looking for the people that are looking for us. The people that this is going to impacting us, heard to elevator pitch, the perfect invite, those people will raise their hands. Those are the people that we're looking for, and I'll go a little bit longer. We're only looking for people with three things. Number one, they have desire, meaning in a different position than where they are right now. Retiring a little bit quicker, retiring faster, not worrying about Social Security, not worrying about the job, not worrying about getting fired. Number two, after the desire, we're looking for people that are open. There's some people that if you mention some information, they're open-minded. They don't say things like, well, I don't have time. Is this a pyramid scheme? They're open. Then also, too, on number three, after them being open, we're looking for individuals that basically knows that it's a business. If I was talking to you about a McDonald's franchise, how would you look to ask me, well, Coach, do I have to put money in that? Yes, it is a business. And I'm not looking for someone looking to be in business with me for a month or get into, well, I didn't sell enough fries in the first 15 days, so I'm out. No, no, no. I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for people that can commit. They can commit to what we're doing, our vision, where we're going, and they can commit for 90 days, a year or so, and commit to staying in the game so that they can continue to win. So with that, before I want to go ahead and give Chris, Rhonda, if you all had anything to add, great. If not, we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
I just wanted to say again, especially for somebody just starting, to keep it simple, stick with the basics. There's a lot of very good information out there on how to run your business and get more leads and get going, but it can be complicated and it can be daunting. Get the basics done first until you're comfortable with what you're doing, and then move on to the next thing. You don't have to know everything. We have great training in our bigger groups, and that's wonderful. As long as you've already got the basics down, then start moving on to something else that can do even more. But just do the basics. Keep it simple. It really there's not a lot to this.
All right. With that being said, Rhonda, did you have anything, or are you good to go? And we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Awesome. Okay, so this has been our Operation Popcorn Hangout. It's Wednesday, October 22nd. My name is Coach Armand out of San Diego. You've heard the awesome Rhonda get out. You've heard the striking Viking Christina get out and give word, give inspiration of what's going on. You've had Queen D get out. You've had also Sue come at you without really even talking to you. You might want to rewind this back, watch it again, and you'll understand and feel what I'm saying. With that being said, we'll be back here next Wednesday. This hangout is a wrap. We believe in you, believe in you. Yes, you can make this work. And whoever brought you to the dance, just make sure you get back to them and just give them a bill if you can, or just send them a thing information. That concludes our hangout. Everybody, have a bright future. Bye for now.
Bye.